Fly me to the moon and let me rule over the verb. Let me see what weather's like. Oh, this journey's not absurd. In other words, Maxim-fly high. In other words, no rubber boy. Fill my heart with song. Let me reign forevermore. You were all I longed for, all I worshipped and adored. In other words, God's going to the moon. In other words, I'm Enaroo. Come on.
Huh. So Brendan, you were in a mood, weren't you?
Okay, so
What did you watch this week?
Did you watch Neon Genesis Evangelion or something like that?
no, dude.
Why is that your first thought about
Because
it?
that's at the end of every episode.
Okay, so time out. We got a couple things going on here. Number one, I wanted to do another one of these stupid things since the last time we got to the end of an arc, I did Africa by Toto. So something had to happen.
Well, we did that.
Fly me to the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it now.
Clicked for him.
Because that's a thing.
So the other thing that I thought was hilarious too is that we were in not the cast chat but the main group chat. Jordy fucking damn near ruined it because he started spouting the lyrics to this like a week ago, and I'm like, Jordy, motherfucker, don't ruin my thing here.
Yo, we had not the slightest clue.
Yeah, nobody would have thought this was a thing.
The general chat that we are normally hanging out in, that there is so much stuff that gets hidden in there. Like there could be like literally like the fucking National Treasure from that Nicolas Cage movie, National Treasure, in there, and I wouldn't fucking know.
Yeah, you were worried for absolutely nothing. Anything that goes on in that chat goes basically in one ear and out the other.
You could directly ask someone something and they won't even see it.
You guys got the true version of the song. There's another version out there that you haven't heard yet that may or may not be the real one we put in the cast. That's a little spoofier. So sorry if anyone had any bits that they wanted to get out this week. I know Christian had a flat tire story that he was just dying to share. A new one, in fact.
A new flat tire.
It won't end until he does a full rotation of his tires.
So one of you guys is secretly coming to my place of work and slashing my tires, and I don't appreciate it.
It's because I love you, Christian. I miss you so much.
Then just say hi to me. Don't slash my tires.
You motherfucker.
Those are expensive.
My love is expensive.
They discovered that my brakes were fucked too, so I had to pay for new brakes.
All right, wasn't us. That wasn't us. That was definitely your crazy ex-girlfriend.
Can't have a crazy ex-girlfriend if you don't have an ex-girlfriend.
Moving on.
So, Brendan, when are you gonna go on Broadway?
When? I've actually been on Broadway. You guys were there.
To Broadway. You haven't been on Broadway.
I have been on the road that is named Broadway. That counts.
Is true. He did do that.
I have been on top of it. It's happened. It's over. I've achieved my dream.
Brendan gets to Broadway, on the street Broadway, and goes, "I've peaked."
There's a picture of me like standing in the middle of the street. There's a taxi driver who's like fucking honking at me, and I'm just like,
"Get the fuck out of the road!"
I'm walking in.
I'm walking in. All right, moving on to the summary. The sun's bright light shines down on a once doomed land. The people of the sky, listening intently, hear a magical sound. Legends foretold that the sound of the bell would bring peace, a stop to the 400 years of fighting. Down below in the blue sea, a child of generational shame, as if at the very core of his lineage could be felt at that very moment. Mont Blanc cricket, utters a very solemn response. That cheeky bastard did it.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And
that
did it,
does
he
essentially
did.
summarize all of the important aspects of this, minus the 2 episodes that we had of Luffy and Eneru somewhat fighting.
Quick thing.
Uh-huh.
Called it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. That was, I mean, to be fair, like, that was kind of an easy call, but no, you absolutely called
It's a super easy
it.
call, but still, put it in the jar. Put it in the jar.
We'll put it in the jar. We can put that in the jar.
I do want to go back, though. You know what you didn't call? Was that those giant fucking...
I was pissed about that.
I think actually, if you want to talk about calling, I think I called that one.
I actually think, I think Christian did call it like briefly until Devin chimed in and went, but Evangelions though.
Yeah.
Right.
What are we calling here? Refresh my memory.
I distinctly remember making a joke about how they were just giant hand puppets. That is essentially what they were.
The giants that we saw in the Blue Sea were just like shadow projections from the sky people in the mist down below, essentially shadow puppets or whatever.
I was so mad about that because I was like, oh, so that's how they're gonna explain it? Okay.
What were you expecting?
He wanted Evas, man.
You're gonna get your Gundam soon, Devin.
Liar.
Don't worry.
You're a liar and a fiend.
Liar.
If I told you that there were Gundams in this at some point, would you trust me?
No.
Okay, if I said it knowing that I've spoiled things in the past by accident, would you
You're
believe me?
worse.
Yeah, you're even worse.
But would you believe me? That's the real question. That's the only question here.
No.
What? I have credibility here.
I'd
I tell
believe
the
if you
truth.
said, hey, so-and-so is someone's dad, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
The only
But
person
no.
I'd believe would be Simi.
You wouldn't believe the guy who spoils shit on the show. All right, whatever.
No, because now you're trying to make up for it. So you'll just say random nonsense and pass it off as a potential
While that is
spoiler.
completely logical, I think you're expecting way too much out of me.
Yeah, there's a lot of like mental gymnastics that you're going through that Justin really just does not have the time for.
No.
All right, so let's try to bring the conversation back around. So what do we start? They cut down Giant Jack.
Yeah, that was our big plan.
That was the big plan, which, honestly, I really appreciated. I'm just saying, like, shout out to my boy Wiper in these episodes, because my dude has been having just an absolute roller coaster of, a character arc these last few episodes. And seeing Zoro cut down Giant Jack, well, at least the section that he did before he got murked.
Hold on. Give credit where it's due. The real champion that actually cut down the tree was Usopp with his rubber band.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Mhm.
Yes.
That rubber band did so much work.
It did about 9/10 of the work.
It's like like in a combo when like you're playing an MMORPG or something like that, and like the rogue comes in, like does that one stab, but it's like 7 billion damage, and like the guy dies. But then like another guy comes in like at the last second and kills the thing. That's what that rubber band was.
Usopp with the 5,000 brain IQ, who's just like, dude, I know exactly what we need to bring down this Giant Jack. A fuckload of rubber bands. I hate you, Usopp. You're the fucking greatest, but I hate you. So Zoro and Wiper take down Giant Jack, just so we're clear.
And the snake.
And the snake was there, which we also got a little bit of backstory on his ass. He was apparently the tiny snake from 400 years ago, which makes him.
Well, we got that like last episode.
Apparently, like we definitely didn't realize that last episode.
Oh, was that kind of clear after last episode? I didn't know if that was clear or not.
Darndest thing.
Yeah, who'd have guessed it?
Fun fact: that snake. I think I can tell you this without being an asshole. I think it's the second or third oldest creature in the entire series, or something like that.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it is sitting at like a cool 400 years old at least. So
Yeah, I want to say second, actually. I think it's the second oldest creature in the entire series. At least that we know of so far. Whatever. I think I could say that without being an asshole. Is that cool?
Is the other animal the whale at the beginning of the Grand Line?
the whale's not as old.
No, absolutely
Not even close. I was gonna say I don't even think Laboon has broken like 50.
No, I'm pretty sure he's like 50, maybe on the dot, because he was a baby when the original travelers who caught up with him were like, "Hey, dude, we're bros." and then it's been 40 years since then. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, either way, Laboon's nowhere near this snake.
Do you think that if they fought, what would happen?
I think Laboon could kick this snake's ass. I'm going to be honest, dude.
There's a guy in the background just saying, "Let them fight."
I would just put my money on Laboon is all I'm saying, dude.
5 more days, Evan. 5 more days.
Especially if they went in the water. Even though I have heard that snakes are actually secretly not that bad swimmers or something like that.
Have you not seen a water snake before?
Do all snakes have the ability to swim like a water snake? Is all I'm saying.
Not necessarily, but also this giant snake has proficiency with swimming in like the White Sea anyway. So like that's basically water. So
true. Yeah. Even knowing that, I would still put my money on Laboon. That boy would kick his goddamn ass, guaranteed.
Back to Giant Jack.
So Giant Jack has fallen. We've trampled Giant Jack. Fuck your Jack and the Beanstalk. Luffy.
Wait, hold up. The snake has a name? I just looked at the notes. It has a fucking name.
Yeah, they very briefly mention it in the one of the two flashbacks.
Nola, Nora, RL, that thing.
So it's a girl snake.
I don't know if that was confirmed. I just know its name is Nola or Nora or whatever.
Well, if you go with Nora, that's traditionally a female name, but
yeah, I would imagine it's probably a girl snake, I guess then.
Either way.
So as Giant Jack is falling, we got our boy Luffy riding on the back of Nami's waiver and shit. They're climbing up. Nami also had this plan. This is all her plan, by the way. We kind of glossed over that. Power to you.
Big brain play.
They're climbing up Giant Jack. And then Luffy just bails. Hopefully he knew that Nami was going to land safely on that little tiny cloud in the sky or whatever. Otherwise, what a dickhead.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. Before they start off, they're like, Luffy, I'm going to ride you up there, but you have to promise me I'll live. And he's like, yeah, no problem. Meets her and the waiver. He's like, yo, deuces, I'm gonna go punch this guy or whatever. And I'm just here like, what a conveniently placed cloud. She definitely should have fallen.
To be fair, I mean, even if she had fallen all the way down, that's not too much farther than the first time she fell down Giant Jack. So as far as I'm concerned, she'd have been fine either way as long as she landed on Cloud.
As long as she landed on Cloud or landed inside the waiver, which we all know is indestructible.
Right.
Actually.
So your boy Luffy jumps off and then he jumps straight in to the Thunder Egg Raigo, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah, the 100 times larger than the first one, Raigo.
I love that image when he's fucking jumping straight into it, because you're thinking to yourself, okay, yeah, we know where this is going, but they made this fucking weather egg, whatever you want to call it, so much larger than Luffy. He's a speck. A fucking speck, I tell you.
But he got gold on him.
And he has a gold ball on him. Honestly, I kind of like the what they did with trying to justify how he, disbanded the weather egg, so to speak, or the thunder egg, I guess. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I do think it was a little comical, just the sheer volume size difference between Luffy and the fucking thunder egg in the
And the fact that gravity doesn't take place in that ball of thunder, apparently.
Well,
Because, if you jump off of something into something and then,
Listen, they're standing on solid clouds right now, all right? There's a lot of dismissed science here, and then they try to...
What you're failing to realize is that there's so much charge inside that weather egg that clearly there's some electromagnetism nonsense going on that is counteracting the effects of gravity. Boom, science. We
Thanks,
Dr.
Professor.
Stone now up in this bitch.
Let's go.
I'm gonna take that science, put it in a nice little ball, and throw it out, because I don't care.
That's fine.
Because science don't work here. Just like people dying don't work here.
Yeah, but before we get there.
Yeah, I, put it in the jar of another thing that I just yeah, this will be a thing.
So Luffy's big old plan is to take his gold noodly arm to just wave it around the lightning and be like, aha, the gold will grab it and then my rubber will disarm it.
I don't think he disarmed it. I think he just diverted it, and then discharged it in random directions to make it.
No, I mean, it was definitely supposed to be the gold absorbs a lot of the electricity here, and then the rubber neutralizes it.
I definitely interpreted it as when your food is hot and there's steam coming out and you go, we were just like trying to flap it away. That's what I basically saw this as.
I mean, they have Eneru specifically go like, oh damn, I forgot he has gold on him, which is just gonna attract all my electricity.
So he grabs the lightning with the gold, then he's like, aha, I now know that lightning doesn't affect me, so aha, I win.
And then he goes to fight Eneru.
Ah, yes, we're here. Fact time. Scrolling. ¿Dónde está? Where are my notes?
Scrolling.
Just keep scrolling.
Keep scrolling.
Wait, where's my notes? Okay. Whew. Scared myself. Okay, so Amaru is a dragon / serpent chimera thing from the Tiwanaku or Incan mythology. Amaru is also the Quechua pronunciation of that name or creature.
That was a lot of words that I don't know the meanings of.
There was a lot there that I'm going to be honest with you, kind of went in one ear and only half of it stayed
Ancient
there.
civilization talk that I've never heard of
Okay,
before.
so Amaru is a dragon serpent thing from Incan mythology. Quechua is just indigenous language from the people of Peru. Just want to
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That was the one I specifically was like, what?
So our boy Eneru basically just turns himself into a giant lightning god as if he wasn't already. And goes like, yes, I can beat you now. Which honestly, all things considered, this is like the part of their fight where I'm always like, Eneru, what the fuck do you think you're doing here? He decides to make himself a bigger target to try to beat Luffy with. I'm thinking to myself, bruh, all you've done is make it easier for this man to hone in on you. If you at least stayed in your normal form, he would have to, move slower with the giant golden bell and you could jump around it or something and then smack him in the face. I don't know. But
he's a god, so why would he, think?
He thought when they fought the first time, I don't know what changed.
This feels like he got too full of himself after, completing a large part of his plan and obtaining the bell, and then was like, yeah, I'm unstoppable again. And just we completely took a step back from all the parts where he learned that Luffy is completely immune to lightning damage.
This kind of goes back to my theory of the dum-dum theory.
The dum-dum.
fruit.
We haven't gotten to the dum-dum theory in a while. I'm glad we came back here.
I'm gonna be real. I was gonna bring it up.
He's been around him for too long. He's probably been sensing him for way too long, which probably amplified the dum-dum fruit's strength, making him even more so of a foil to him.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
He's been having to read his movements and his thoughts the whole time too. So he's been getting a double dose, even a triple dose of dum-dum.
Exactly.
What if that guy from Night at the Museum was a One Piece fan?
Oh my god.
That giant talking head goes, dum dum, give me gum gum.
Stop. The Eastern Island heads are not a part of this series. God. Stop.
Everything makes sense? Question mark.
So anyway, Eneru transforms into a big version of himself, which I just think is absolutely silly. And Luffy, he's got the ball on him, and it's charged with a rifle for the better part of the entire episode. He's got it wound up for a good solid 5 to 10 minutes or something like that, and it's never falling. It's just behind him, fully extended. Until he finally jumps away from Eneru, grabs the cloud, flies back up, and then punches him in his smug ass face. And then
my logic for that is the fact that when he twisted his arm, it's probably like when you make a rubber band ball, how it's like a rock almost at that point.
Yeah, I mean the weight would
where
definitely
you twist
keep
a rubber
it.
band hard enough, it just sits solid. So that's why it didn't droop.
Well, okay, I like that. I can get
Yeah,
behind
I
that.
mean the weight on the back of his hand would definitely, I think, keep it wound up like that.
I'm still convinced that Luffy, if someone were to read his mind, it would literally just be static.
No, it would be meat. Just meat.
It would be me.
And then
just nothing but
until
me.
he's fighting, then it's static. And then when he's not fighting, it's meat again. It's literally that simple. He's not a very complex character.
I don't know about static. I feel like it's definitely meat. And then when he's in fight mode, he's just like, I'm going to kick your ass. And that's it.
So Eneru gets blasted with the golden rifle or whatever, gets smacked into that bell. We get to ring the bell for the first time in 400 years, and knocks his smug ass into planet Earth. Although really not, only beneath the first layer of the sky land, I guess, and then he flies away.
When he hit the water, I was like, cool, they actually killed him. And then like he came back, and I was like, really?
Yeah, we're just gonna ignore the part where like Chopper went in the water at some point and like was unable to come back up.
No. We got to remember back to the very beginning when they first got to Sky Island, like when Usopp did it. He went so far down that he started just falling again. But here's where we're at, though. Remember when they first got to Skypiea, they were on a lower level of the white sea or whatever. And then they took a milky road, which we saw again in these episodes, that get you to a higher level. So what Eneru fell through was a higher level of the white sea. So, and same thing with the bell, what they had found and retrieved, or at some point when Eneru like broke through and got back to the sky, he probably just got back on his boat and fucking fucked off and did his own thing at that point.
The fact that his arc is still like functional is absolute bullshit. But...
Right. That's the thing that I think is just absolutely outrageous. This man fell through the water, came back to consciousness, got his ship to fly again, and then is like, yes, I'm going to the moon now.
So we learned that the endless Earth is the moon.
Yes.
And not Earth, like I thought.
So he suffocates, right?
Okay, so Devin, I'm glad that you asked, because that transitions
Do you want to tell
us...
him, or do you want me to tell him?
Go ahead, Justin.
You can give him more details afterward. So, fun fact. In the manga, there is a little side story that Oda wrote where Eneru goes to the moon and he like meets essentially aliens up there, and there is some relevant information that he gathers up there.
What does that mean?
Okay, all right.
Does he get defeated by Desmond the Moon Bear from fucking ASDF?
No, but he does find space pirates and
what do you mean?
On top of that, wait, before you go any further,
are you talking
confirm
about?
for me, did they have mech suits up there?
Not that I know of. No, not that I know of.
What the fuck is
What
wrong
on
with the
earth?
show?
This is what I'm going to tell you. There are not people who just casually go between the Earth and Moon. Okay, when I say
I
space,
don't believe you anymore because this show's fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
I don't believe that for a sec.
no, I promise you that is not a thing. I promise you.
Empty promises.
when I say space pirates, I'm talking about full on fucking stupid ass
Talking
alien
about Cowboy
space pirate.
Bebop. You didn't tell me we were going to Spike Spiegel.
Hey, I'm just saying, at some point, one of you fuckers said that this arc was going to take us to space. So here we are, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Just not in the anime, unfortunately, but
Didn't I say to the moon at one point in this podcast?
I bet you did.
Are you sure it wasn't in relation to Dogecoin?
Yes, it was definitely in relation to Dogecoin, but now...
So what I'm going to tell you is, okay, there is a canonical side plot where Eneru gets his sorry ass up to the moon, which is the Endless Verse, by the way.
Oh my
Fucking,
God.
he meets a new civilization up there, and they are invaded by space pirates, whom he defeats, and then now he rules over the civilization on the moon.
Oh, he rules it.
Oda. I need to have a chat with you for just a second. Oda, go to bed. Like, seriously, just go to bed and like get like a solid
take a
week's
nap.
worth of sleep.
I think
What
I
the
can
fuck were you smoking when you came up with this fucking theory? Like, when the moon thing happened, I was like, what? And then now hearing that he actually gets there?
Now you know why it was so important to me
How
that the
does he
spit today.
breathe? What does he do when he's up there?
Oh, Devin, you're gonna love this too. The civilization I told you about, they wear space helmets.
That's like the most plausible thing you've said in the last 5 minutes.
Okay, my bad.
the real tragedy is that this side piece has never and probably will never get an anime adaptation.
I hope it doesn't.
How long did it take Oda to do this? Like, as in, like, since this moment that we're in the manga right here, where
Mhm.
he flies into the moon, when did Oda write or publish this side story where he takes over the moon planet?
So the side stories, when we talk about side stories, so I know we skipped over it back in the day, but remember the Adventures of Mini Buggy that we told you about that we skipped over
Yes.
back when we were over there? So the Adventures of Mini Buggy was a cover story, as was the Django and Full Body Friendship that happened when they were in like a dance off or whatever. You remember that when we talked about
Yes.
that at one point or
Yes.
another? That was
How could
another
I
cover
forget?
story. So the cover stories are where Oda, like every once in a while, when he's like, I want to tell more stories on the characters I've built in this world, he'll have like a single panel at like the front of any new manga chapter. And like they'll be in series with each other and tell like a singular story based on like what is happening. So I think it was like a 15 to 20 chapter cover story or something like that of Eneru's adventures of taking over the moon, basically. And that's what it was. So I think it was in the preceding chapters after Skypiea for like 20 or 30 chapters. We just saw like a single panel of him doing stupid shit on the moon that if you read it all together is the full story of what.
That means he had this planned. He had this planned from the beginning then. This wasn't just like he woke up in the middle of the night one day.
But to answer your question about when Oda wrote this, he wrote the Skypiea arc around like 2003, 2002. This Eneru, what was it called? Hold on, let me read the actual name of the arc. Eneru's Great Space Operations. That was written in 2006 to 2007. So he wrote it about 3 years later.
So it was like 3 years later. All right.
I need to read this now. I thought this is just like negligible information, but clearly it's not.
No, dude, I love this cover story. It's one of my fucking favorites. It's so stupid. I love it. I love it.
This is a reason why I'm so glad that this arc is done. Shit.
So like so does that mean we never see Eneru again? Like he just lives on the moon now and we're never going to see him?
I'm going to tell you, like I always tell you, Oda has a funny way of reintroducing characters, but what I will tell you is that going to the moon is not just a casual thing. We will not just casually meet people who are like, yes, we go to moon all the time.
No, he's gonna have a cameo later on when they show the moon in a scene, and it's gonna be like, see, there he is.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Sokka's girlfriend. That's why Eneru really wanted to go to the moon. He's Mr. Studio Girl. And I mean, looking like Eminem, who wouldn't?
So Eneru is on the moon. That is the Endless Verth.
Wow.
So neither of you are right, by the way, about what the Endless Verth was. It was always the moon. Always has been. You suck.
This is stupid.
Always has been. Stop.
We just need to talk about how during the anime, this whole time, Enru was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be going downward to get to Endless Verth.
That's why it's so stupid.
Yeah, that's
Justin.
why I kept thinking. That's why I kept thinking he's just going to Earth, where all this Verth came from. It came from Earth.
But now he's found the Endless Verth. There is nothing but solid ground.
He's not wrong. It's a different type, but it's Verth, I guess.
So moving on, we beat our baddie. He fucks off to fucking Fairy Tale Land, Neverland, or whatever the fuck that shit from Peter Pan is. And then we have our big party. Everyone's fucking vibing. The straws.
We get another like Luffy and Usopp like telling people what they need to be doing as pirates bit, like they did to Robin earlier in the campfire.
Well, no, it was to Nami this time. Where
yeah, that's what I mean.
Usopp and Luffy are like, they're chilling. Then Nami's like, yeah, we got to get the fuck out of here as soon as we can. And Luffy and Usopp are looking at her so disapprovingly. They're like, dude, are you serious? We're pirates, and you're not even gonna try to find gold.
You're not even gonna try and party with these people for the next 8 days.
So we get that whole bit. We got our boy, what's his name, Wiper, coming out of the tent, seeing that everyone has finally, come at peace, and they find the bell again, which I was a little like kind of I forgot how they find it out of the water, because I forgot it falls in the water, right? And I was like, oh wait, how do they get it out of there again? And then they just like magically somehow kind of have vines that were like, oh yeah, we got it.
They tried to explain it away as it got caught on some vines from Big Jack.
Yeah,
Giant Jack.
That's what I'd said, or whatever.
Which is like utter bullshit, but sure, whatever to make Shandorians happy, I guess.
They got the bell out of the water. And then we finally get a little bit back into overarching plot progression.
So I do have something to say about that. So when I was when I was watching the episodes earlier today, and I was at my lunch break and everything like that watching them, I had this like random epiphany, and I wrote it down right at the very beginning of my notes. And I was like, do you think that Gold Roger could read the poneglyphs, and maybe that's where all the one, or where he's going to have the One Piece? And then when it finally is revealed in this episode, I was like, ah!
Devin's like, dude, my brain, it's enormous.
I have the most wrinkly brain.
All the wrinkles. I never fold it.
Although the part where I had mentioned a long time ago when we talked about our One Piece whistle, how Gold Roger had been up there and had known Gonfall. I was waiting for Gonfall to go, and he gave me a whistle. I wanted it so bad for him, like, to be as a departing gift. He gave me, and he pulls out the whistle or something that he like somehow found on the ground.
I really want to know, how the fuck did Gold Roger get up there? And how the fuck did he know it was up there?
I'm sure he went through the knockup stream.
No. I mean, how did he get up to where the bell was? Because he signed that shit before the bell came down.
Right. And what I want to know is, why did this jackass sign his name on it instead of telling everybody?
He does graffiti. It's easy to think of.
No, why did he sign his name on it instead of telling everybody, hey, you guys, there's a bell up there.
Because he's flexing.
Maybe he was smarter than Nolan and he knew that wasn't the play.
Brendan's problem is not the fact that he graffitied the bell. It's the fact that he didn't tell like the Shandorians down below, like, or deliver the bell to them, like, hey, your bell's up here. Here you go. You're good now.
Like he could have at least like mentioned it to Gonfall, be like, hey, did you know there's a fucking bell over there? He'd be like, wait, what? All right, so we got our girl Robin being the absolute enormous brain that she is. So she can still read the poneglyph. So recap, the one that she read in Alabasta, Crocodile wanted it because he believed it had the location of Pluton, which is one of the ancient weapons, and it did have said location. She lied about it. And then moving on to this poneglyph, it had information regarding Poseidon, which is a different ancient weapon. So now we got two.
I want to dive a little bit more into the naming of it, because they're obviously basing it off the Greek gods and different naming of the Greek gods, such as Pluton being a nickname for Pluto, which is Hades in Greek. So it's like, so I get that that's the theme for them. I want to know what these fucking weapons are, though. Like, are they going to be based off the Greek gods? Or are they going to be
These are great questions that we may or may not have answers for.
I ain't going to lie to you, Devin. We will find out one or more of these weapons in a future.
Also, side note, fuck Oda for changing between the Roman god version and the fucking Greek god.
The Romanized version.
All he had to do is use Neptune. It's the same.
I wouldn't be surprised if Oda takes this even one step further and just like handpicks his favorites from like every mythology. Like next we're gonna get a Buddhist one, then we're gonna get like a Taoist one. We'll get an Incan god at some point.
So here's my question. Now that we have these two ancient weapon named, how many do we think there actually are?
That's the thing. If they're following the Greek god theme, then it's only going to have that many, as many as there are the Greek gods. I don't remember how many there are off the top of my head. But if they're going to go the bullshit route that Christian's mentioning, it could be 30, it could be 5, it could be 15, it could be anything.
This is the question I have. Do you think Oda would just like create a weapon and call it Uranus?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we got information on Poseidon, and then in addition, so Robin's piecing together. So her mission, her goal, her drive is to find what she calls the Rio poneglyph, which she believed prior to this episode to be a singular one poneglyph that says this is exactly what happened in the blank century, which is like her ultimate goal. There's a missing century in their universe, and she wants to know what the fuck happened. And now she's starting to realize that the mystery of the Rio poneglyph, it's not that it's a single poneglyph, it's the collection of all the details from all the poneglyphs that eventually make out the full story of what happened in the hundreds or the century void or whatever. And she's like, bruh, we gotta go to Raftel and find this fucking thing. I want to go there. I want to see all this shit.
That has just put such an end game on these poneglyphs, though. Like,
yes, it has.
I can't wait to be let down by some stupid bullshit about there being a second moon or something.
I can only assume we'll find remnants of the poneglyphs continually, like we have with this one. But man, to set that goal at episode 193 or whatever episode it was,
and we're at like 950 and some change right now,
and we're banking on 1,000 real soon. Like, my God, Oda,
we've got some places to go and people to see. Let me tell you, dude.
Yeah, Oda stated from like day one that he's had his like end game in mind, like probably like 3 months after starting it. He's like, yeah, I know it's gonna end. It's gonna take me like 20 years apparently, but
yeah, no, I mean he knows how he wants the final clash to play out. He knew his end game characters. He just didn't know like what he was gonna put in between. Like he didn't know he was gonna make Sky Island. He didn't know he was gonna make Alabaster. He didn't know he was gonna make the next arc or the next arc. But he knew like the beginning and he knew the end. And then he's just been like kind of transitioning extra shit in between to make it an interesting story.
He's really milking that one intern for all he's got, huh?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Never forget that intern that came up with that Drum Island shit, all right? Never. So then we move on to the straws after Robin explains all the shit with the poneglyphs or whatever and says like, you guys are good. Like, I've read this. It's already been taken to Raftel. Gold Roger was here. He read it. He probably made the Rio poneglyph in Raftel. So like, you're good. You don't have to deal with this anymore. And then he's just like, thank fucking Christ, I hate it here.
But they don't leave, so they stay. And they're like, yay, now we don't have to do shit all day long.
Right. But and then as they go back to catch up with the straws, so all this while in the background, Luffy, Nami, Zoro, all those assholes, they jumped inside the snake. Luffy, your boy. He knew where the gold was, right? After he was eaten by the snake, he remembered that there just so happened to be a shitload of treasure.
Yeah, I can't believe that Luffy is the one who, like, remembered this in the end of the day. Like,
right?
All this man thinks about, as we've established, is fighting people and meat. And somewhere in the deepest recesses of his brain, he remembered that one crown he hauled around for 4 episodes.
I love when they introduce it, like when they finally get to the scene in the anime where like Luffy's like, see, I fucking told ya, there's gold everywhere. He's so fucking proud of himself that he showed everybody.
You wanna know what's crazy? When Luffy wakes up Nami, he's like, yo, we're gonna go get gold. My brain completely forgot that like the snake's stomach was filled with it, and I just thought, oh, they're gonna like go salvage whatever is left in the ruins or whatever. My brain did not think they're like, yo, I'm going back inside the snake.
I didn't either, to be fair.
Luffy's like, here we go again.
Who was it? It was Usopp and Zoro talking outside the snake, and they're like yelling or whatever. And I'm just here like, yo, they woke this snake up right now.
I do want to go back to how no one dies in this universe.
Just like nobody is a threat and no villain is a true threat at any point. It just wipes away any semblance of threat that they had.
If it makes you feel any better, I would say that going forward, not every villain is always this like giant threat that's like basically putting everyone as like a hostage. Like they will develop some villains that'll actually have a little bit more meat to them, where it's more just like a personal grudge or something between like our protagonists and
How come people only die in backstories though? It's only in backstories.
Devin, you've just said one of the biggest memes in the entire One Piece community. People only die in backstories.
It's one we've gone over plenty of times. It infuriates me to no end because I want to like these villains so much, but then they have no effect on anything at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is quite frustrating. I agree. I think that One Piece could, like, for a mature audience, it could benefit a lot from actually delving into a little bit more critical, like having those stakes actually matter. But unfortunately, a lot of the time, most of the time, yeah, they're going to come out fine on the other side somehow.
But when the
Somehow.
people do die, it will matter and it will stick out, and maybe
They
it'll
didn't even
please you.
they didn't even double down on killing the like 600 random goon angels or whatever they were called, however many there were. We could have just left them. We could have never mentioned them again and just had a bit of sad story on the sideline. But no, Gonfall had to run to the cave and discover that all of them are just fine.
Right.
I
know.
I feel like the icing on the cake was when the old man came out. I was like, okay, I'm so filled with rage that I can't.
They
function.
even did the bit, dude. They even did the bit where Paglia comes out and like all of the straws are like, "You're supposed to be dead," and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm definitely not."
Sorry, I'm not dead. I
He
guess.
doesn't even look injured.
No, he has like one scratch on him.
He's absolutely fine. He's not hurt whatsoever. I will say too, when all of these Shandorians were coming up, one thing that stuck out to me too was when they were partying, Zoro and Brahm specifically were fucking drinking buddies at the big bonfire reunion or whatever at the night party. I thought that was kind of funny.
Just fucking kill someone.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, you're all right. And I will try to say that like this is happening really early in the One Piece story, and that down the line, I think your gripes will be
The exact same.
What else is there?
Bro, what about Usopp?
What about
dude,
your boy?
There's the weird sleeper fucking level up for 2 characters in this arc. God damn.
He learned a thing or two from the Denden Mushi guy.
Yeah. He saw the fucking the rice. I think his name is Rice or something
sure.
like that. He learned a thing or two from the rice dickhead. It was like, you see this? This is the best fucking rubber band on the planet. It was used exclusively to take down Giant Jack. And then he's like, and this piece of metal was once on the Mary. It withstood the knockup stream. And they were like, we don't give a shit about that, but those rubber bands.
It was like,
though.
yeah, whatever. How many rubber bands you got though?
It's crazy how he like told a big fat lie, then told the truth for the next item. They were like, no, metal plating, fuck that, rubber band.
Nobody wants the truth.
Which is hilarious because as soon as he did the trade too, he was like so fucking pumped and jacked that he got all these dials. And the first thing he said was, dude, we're going to upgrade the shit out of our equipment now.
He's like, yo, my workbench upgraded.
Also, the Skypeans were going to give them that giant gold column, which, as Devin said, would have been absolute fucking nonsense if they actually took it.
Robin is in the perfect position to clear up everything, to be a mediator, and she just says, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna just run with
That
them.
is very true. She's down with
That's
the
also
memes here.
very in character for Robin. She's a witnesser.
No,
She's
yeah.
not an active person.
It makes way more sense for her to go like, this is more entertaining to just like let this happen.
Robin is the kick-ass like aunt that just like oversees all of the kids doing their stupid shit and is just happy to be a part of the team.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, they might fully knowing like the Shandorians offer her the gold thing, and she knows in that moment that her friends are off hunting for gold elsewhere. So she goes, yeah, they'll probably want it. And then the Shandorians just haul this whole ass, and the Skypeans that joined them just haul this whole ass thing across the island over, and just for the Straw Hats to run away and go, nah. And Robin just looks at them with like this like polite shit-eating grin and goes, guess they don't want it. And then she runs off too.
Capture them? What's he talking about? The only thing we're trying to do is thank them!
Miss, is there a problem? You and your friends want this gold, right?
I guess we don't.
Please wait!
It really bums me that when they were, I'm assuming they're going to get off the island before, or like we're not even going to see them leave the island. They're just going to be on the ship. It bums me that they didn't ring the bell one last time.
Oh, like when everyone was leaving or whatever?
I mean, they might next episode. I wouldn't be surprised if like somebody like runs back and goes, we got to send them off with the bell. And then it's another call back to the flashbacks.
But we also have yet to solve who fixed the boat. And so that's why, like, there might be another episode, like, explaining that. We still don't know who fixed the fucking boat.
We do still
That
not
is
know
true.
who fixed the boat. And that is a great question.
We will find out, I promise.
He wants clear confirmation of what happened.
I just, it's not even confirmation I want. I just want everything to be rounded off at the end. Like, okay, this arc is complete. Like, we've answered every stupid fucking question.
I'm not going to say that Oda doesn't tie up any loose ends. I'm just saying he definitely takes his time with
We're
it.
talking about a guy who's writing a 1,000 chapters, 1,000 episode show. Of course, he doesn't know how to write, or like cut off loose, or like round the edges off.
Oh, no, he does.
No. He rounds every loose end he ever makes, mind you. Mind your tongue, heathen. Give him time.
It just sometimes takes 400 episodes.
So the boat fixer's just gonna appear out of nowhere 400 episodes ago. Remember Skypiea? I
fixed your boat.
Dylan, this comment right here. All right, so are we good? Did we cover everything?
I think that's everything.
Basically.
Do we move on to quotes? That's what we do next.
Or we could tell the folks what we're doing next week.
Yes, let's do it.
Right. What we're doing next week, we're going to do episode 195.
Plus, we're going to be doing a little recap on events and some other stuff. We don't know what that means. You'll find out next week when we find out.
It sounds like we're watching 195 and then doing a bunch of extra stuff, kind of like we did at the end of Alabast.
You know, that raises a really good question. Not to like steer us into like a stupid direction. Do you think that our listeners watch the episodes before the episode comes out, or?
I think it varies. I think there's a good chunk of people that might be following along with us, but then there's just a vast majority are probably just being like, I want to experience what they're doing audibly.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, like let's say Thursday rolls around. Do you think that the majority is looking at the title of the episode and then saying, oh, I need to watch these episodes? Or do you think that they're actually listening to us and we warn them ahead of time at the end of this episode?
Well, if they are, they can tell us on Twitter at Panda Sightings.
There we go. Not Devin got what I was going for.
That's what we need. The nice segue. Let's go. Tell them, please write to us.
We like to hear from you. We haven't heard from anybody new in a while. We're sad.
Oh, that reminds me. I don't know if we'll keep this in or not, but one of the people who like literally created a Twitter account just to follow us, shout out you know who you are if this is still in the cast and you're listening to this, changed his or her bio to bruh, I'm a proud Yosaku or something like that.
Whoever you are, human being out there, just know I love you.
You're the champion.
No, we love
of this,
you if you're listening to this.
That is fucking amazing. Proud Yosaku.
Anyway, I would be interested to know that if anybody like looks at this and actually like tempers themselves and goes like, I'm gonna watch these 3 episodes and see what they say, and then I'll watch the next 4 episodes.
Brave souls.
I'm sure
I don't Twitter, but can you like make a poll on Twitter for people to like interact with?
you can. Yes. The problem is we have like 29 followers, and the last time we did a poll anyway, like one person, I think Johnny was the only one who voted.
Johnny. You love to see it. No, I bet you that now that Virginia guy would absolutely answer. This is personal now.
It's true. We might get a couple more answers. We have some more followers since then. But anyway,
where are we at? Quotes?
We are at quotes.
We are at quotes. Who wants to go first?
I only got like 2. Actually, and one of them's not even really a quote. It's just a sound. So my first one, I really like the way that Mama Ragen, when Eneru says it, like when he's about to like unleash the super duper fucking lightning storm on everything, like just the... Oh, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. And then my second one is literally just, quote, bong the bell. Those are my quotes.
I want to preface this by saying that I'm not gonna lie to you. Wiper kind of slapped for me these eps a lot, and my only 2 quotes are both Wiper right now. I got in 191 when Robin's explaining to Wiper about how there was a descendant of Nolan, down in the deep blue sea, and why Luffy wanted to ring the bell. I really like the delivery of the guy who played Wiper when he was questioning Robin. He goes,
What is the name of this explorer's descendant?
Mont Blanc cricket, Why?
The name of his ancestor who came here. Please tell me, was it Noland?
How?
Wiper? What's going on? Why are you crying?
Was it Nolan? And then Robin looks back and goes, "The fuck? How do you know about this dude?" and then later in that same episode, after right before Wiper does the reject dial again to bring down Giant Jack,
Koga, the descendant of your best friend from the Blue Sea. He's waiting for it. The ringing of your golden bell. It's time we rewarded his patience.
and I was just like, that's a money shot. That's a money quote. I don't even care. It's time we rewarded his patience. Fuck yeah.
Another thing that just like completely undermines any semblance of stakes is the fact that he uses the reject dial like 18 times. It's totally fine.
He drinks his milk. Moving on.
All right, go on.
I'll go next. Okay, so I only got a couple here. This one was from Captain McKinley. He said, we have abandoned our land and chosen to live. We have nowhere to return and nowhere to go. Praying is all that we can do. That one slapped.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But there was one by Gold Roger.
Gold D. Roger. What?
I made it here, and I will guide this passage all the way to the farthest ends of the earth. The stormiest seas will not stop me. Pirate Gold Roger.
And I just appreciate like Gold Roger coming into the story because Gold Roger matters to the overarching plot of the story because like it's Luffy's whole like idol
Essence.
essentially. Yeah. And I just appreciate the moments far in between where Roger just like makes an appearance.
It was something I never thought I needed to know, but the fact that Gold Roger knows how to read and write Poneglyph is kind of fire. I guess it's to be expected from the world's greatest pirate to ever live, but it still like kind of was like, oh, that's pretty neat. I like this. As for my quotes, most of them we've kind of talked about. I wrote down mostly as a joke, like Nami's like, I'll come with you, but you got to make sure I survive, because like if not, I'm gonna be pissed. The only other one I guess I have, since nobody else has brought it up here, is Luffy's quote.
Not one person in history has ever disproven the existence of Sky Island. I'm a romantic, just like you!
Let it rain! Hey, Pops! Can you hear it? The City of Gold is here! For 400 years, the City of Gold has been in the sky!
Despite the fact that I still think like ringing the bell as his whole main goal for this is a little on the lamer side, it's still, it still hits.
Wait, still on the labor side? I love seeing this for cricket. My boys finally get his return.
I will tell you that in the future, Luffy has literally fought for less. But thank you for going about that, because you reminded me of the quote I was actually looking for. It was right, I think it was right before Luffy punched Eneru. And this is a fan sub. The sub went, "You and your thunder, we made it all the way to Sky Island and you got to come and turn the weather bad, you lightning jerk." And I read that and I'm like, this is such an oversimplification of the entire issue at hand here.
Not from Luffy's perspective.
Stupid lightning man making the weather bad, ruining my day.
Alrighty then. Now moving on to the
Golden Ham.
Oh, Golden Ham.
You are
My bad.
terrible at this.
I know I am.
Why do we let you do anything? We have a sheet.
It's right there.
Yeah.
You know how to read less than Devin.
All right,
Or
well,
Justin
fine.
with his own
Mr.
notes.
fucking man who's like fucking reaming me out over here. What's your golden ham then? Why don't you start us off there, big guy?
You know, after immediately finishing the episodes, I didn't have a solid contender that I felt like I really wanted. After thinking about it for like a little bit, I this is mostly a joke because a lot of these episodes are a joke, but also what if?
Oh boy, here we go. I can already tell you got Devin on your team.
I'm waiting. I'm anticipating it.
This is I'm going to give it to our protagonist Luffy, but not because he defeated Enru and rang the bell, because he came up with this entire plan for this kick-ass heist by himself and executed it flawlessly.
Flawlessly is a little.
Flawlessly.
Could have had more.
My only suggestion for a golden ham would really have to be Nico Robin, because the brain blast fucking Jimmy Neutron thinking that she got to realizing Gold Roger's like whole plan about the Pongless, just like that hit it so hard for me at that moment, because I was like, finally, fucking progression. And then I don't know, that just really hit. But like overall throughout the whole all the episodes, like I can't really justify it. I can only justify it for those 2 episodes. The first ones, there wasn't really a solid contender. Like I agree, big brain blast for Luffy coming up with a heist. Like sure, that was some fired memes, but like, is it really golden ham worthy? I don't know. I can't really.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. So my pick, my golden ham is based off who I feel like which character gave me the most return overall over the 4 episodes. For me personally, out of nowhere, it was Wiper. I don't know why, but I really enjoyed his character arc finally coming to full circle, ending it, wanting to listen to the bell get rung, in addition to the Shandorians finally listening to their bell ring for the first time, and also wanting to close the book on Nolan's tale and fully finishing out the whole deal with Cricket. I understand that perhaps this story arc is not that entertaining for some of our members in this cast, but I love the shit out of Nolan's tale very wholeheartedly. And I really appreciated Wiper in 91 and 192. And then even in 193, when he was like waking up from his coma and it was like the lead into the big party. I don't know, man. Goosebumps. Seeing things through his eyes was extremely enjoyable for the largest portion of these episodes. So that's why he has my ham.
All right, what about you, Justin?
All right, I'll be honest. I think we're all agreed except maybe Bread Boy. For the most part, most of us didn't have a contender in mind because episodes are mostly gags. I did by default look at Luffy just because protag, but since Devin brought her up, I am definitely down to give it a Nico Robin because I appreciate, just like always, the info dumps that come from like the poneglyphs and like all this other information we just got. And also I just appreciate Oda reminding everyone that like Robin is actually important to the crew, and this is why.
I think that's our answer then. Nico Robin. 2-1 margin.
I don't know, man.
It is what it is. It's 2-1 margin.
But what if I changed my answer to Wiper though? Because if we put it between the two of them, I would definitely choose Wiper before Nico Robin. We all know here that I'm a simp for Nico Robin here. Out of
Are you? Because it sounds like you're not right now.
We know I'm the biggest sub for Nico Robin.
You let her snap your neck.
I will let her step all over me any day of the week, any hour of the day. But in terms of these episodes, I feel like Wiper is definitely a stronger pick here.
Ooh.
So you took away our winning position and forced us to a tie that we have no way of resolving.
Correct.
It sounds like we're going to need to get some... This will be a first. Let's see if this makes the cut. I'm going to go for it. It sounds like we're going to need some cheaps out of our editor partway through to put a tie-breaking vote into this.
If only we had a fifth voice that could be heard.
Hi, Dylan here. Coming in to place my vote on Wiper. Also, please send help. They have me prisoner. I was human once and they turned me into a hamster. The horrors I've seen, the wheels I've run, the carrots, oh god the carrots.
So for the first time, I think we're gonna have to go through Golden Ham with with a even split. So we're gonna need somebody to break the tie in post.
Thanks, Christian.
No problem.
So moving on
To grab bag.
to the grab bag. Ooh, what are we gonna grab? What's in this little bag of forks? Ooh, let's see what's on this fork. And it's the Valentine Award. I vote Oda.
What?
I hate him for everything that he did.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Christian, don't do this.
I was gonna say Eneru for this just because
I was thinking Eneru.
Because not only because of this stupid moon bid, but also because he's a worthless villain that doesn't kill anybody when he's supposed to.
Yes.
But
Don't do
Devin
this.
took it one step further and
Oh
went
my
straight
God.
to the source.
Don't do this to me.
What if we trolled the entire audience and the thumbnail for next week's episode was Oda instead? I don't even know what Oda looks like, so that would be a first for me too.
There's not a lot of pictures of him, but I know what he looks like. But okay, here's where I'm at. He is on the chopping block for Valentine. I ain't gonna restrict him, but this is what I'm gonna propose. You do not get to put him on the chopping block every single time you don't like something that he writes. So you get one of these. You get one good one of these. Do you want to burn it here and now? That is my question to you. You get one of these from me. I'm willing to join you, but you can only get one. Do you really think that this is the peak of the shit you are going to hate out of his writing?
I feel like because of what's happened canonically currently, because we went from Alabasta to this, and it's happened consecutively, I have to say this is the time. All right, Justin, what about you? What's your thought?
Head empty. No thoughts.
I'm on the Eneru train. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Eneru because there's no way in hell I'm giving Valentine Award to Oda. You can all kiss my ass.
He went to the moon, dude.
Why
Fuck
is the
that
moon?
dude.
The moon is endless birth this entire time. I hate it here.
I hate it here. Fuck
Is
the
this a
moon.
3-time champ for Valentine for Eneru? Or is this no 2-time?
No, this is just 2. We only gave it to him for the Apple Core.
Are we tired right now, or are we giving it, or is Christian changing his mind again?
No. I'm on the Eneru train here.
I'll go to the Eneru, I guess, because yeah.
I am willing to give Oda the Valentine one of these days, but I already know where I would like to give it to him, and this ain't it, Chief.
Oh, there's a moment that outrages you enough to do that? I'm curious. Hold on. Slide into my DMs real quick after the show.
Step into his office.
Yeah. Slide into my office after the show. I'm curious.
Step into my office. All right, Eneru it is. Thank God. I'm glad we're on the same trip. Yay.
Shame on you, Oda.
What?
Shame on you.
I love Skypiea. Skypiea is one of my fucking favorites, actually. I love the shit
Definitely
out of
not my
this arc.
favorite, but I definitely won't slander Oda's good name.
You know, we didn't even talk about that too. Do we like the arc as a whole? No, yeah, eh.
I don't mind it. It was fun. I think at the end of the day, I kind of preferred Alabasta way more.
Right. I would say that
Agreed.
Alabasta is a better package overall, but I still love what Skypiea had to offer personally.
I feel like the only redeeming part of the Skypiea arc is the revelation of Nico Robin for the Poneglyph.
Well, what about the part where Eneru realized that fucking Luffy was not fucking hurtable through his lightning and shit?
Yeah, I'll take that as the greatest moment of Skypiea over just about anything. That fucking Eneru face made that entire arc for me, honestly.
All right, we're going home. We're done.
Wait, what
Thank you
about
for
me?
listening.
Hold on, I got comments.
Oh, you've got. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go.
I matter. So this is my second time watching it. The first time I watched One Piece, I told myself that Skypiea was among one of my favorite arcs, but I was really distant from when I first watched it. It was probably because Eneru has one of my favorite powers you could possibly give a character. Second time around, I think I like it a little bit more than I originally thought, except for toward the end, I felt like the ending to the fight was a letdown for me personally. And I think overall the arc doesn't rate as highly in my mind. But I remember first starting off, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this that much when I finish this arc. But I think I can happily say this is enjoyable arc. Just definitely not my favorite anymore.
Yeah, I would say it's not my favorite, but I do really like it. It's up there for entertaining arcs for me personally, I guess. I enjoy the shit out of it.
Shouts Eminem.
Shout out to Eminem. Thank you for existing.
Does Eminem have a song about the moon?
Funny enough, I'm glad you mentioned it.
He does have
There's
one.
a brand new song that he collabed with what the fuck is that dude's name? But it's called Moon Man. It's brand
Why
new.
is our podcast so meta?
Wait, like as in it just came out?
It literally came out in 2021. I'm not even kidding.
What?
Oh
Let
my
me Google
fucking
this.
God.
It's a collab with another dude, Moon
Oh
Man.
my god, it's Kid Cudi. Actually,
Cudi,
it was technically last year, but
Oh, okay, my bad. It was 2020 then.
He did a song with Kid Cudi. Oh
Yeah,
my god, that dude hasn't been relevant in like a decade.
And it's fucking Moon Man of all things. It's amazing. I didn't think that there was going to be a segue to bring that up, but I'm glad we got there.
I just got David Bowie stuck in my head now, where he's Space Odyssey or something like that, just playing in my head. Na 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 na.
Good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening, listeners, or day, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are.
If you are.
Bye.
How many ghosts do you think listen to us?
I'm pressing the stop button.
3. A solid 3.
I hope at least one.
Fill my heart with song and let me reign forevermore. You were all I longed for, all I worshipped and adored. In other words, God's going to the moon. Oh, in other words, I'm in.